Hello and welcome to my channel. We're going to be taking a look at another tracker knife that is in my collection. This one, I believe you're familiar with this. If not, then there is going to be a link that I'm going to be posting here for this knife. That wasn't a review for that knife. It was, however, the acid wash procedure that was done to this knife. You see, this knife has been giving me some problems on rusting, and ever since I did that acid wash procedure to this blade, that rusting problem has gone and it never came back. So this blade is none other than the TNZ USA Tracker Damascus in blue. No, I think it's they call it blue, but I'd say it's a blue gray. It's nearer to gray. Micarta handles, and now in its acid wash Damascus. See, it now looks better, I would say. Plus, of course, that rusting is no longer non-existent, as I've explained. That is a good thing, because now it's just a proper knife. And with the blade going into a semi-gray, it matches the handle perfectly. TNZ USA, I do have a few of them. They are good blades. I mean, judging from TNC USA, I cannot confirm if they are indeed coming in from the US. Hopefully not from Pakistan, but since they carry the name TNC USA, I would like to say that this was assembled in the States. I just don't know where the Damascus was folded, because I was skeptic at it. It was, of all the Damascus tracker knives that I have, this was the one that was giving problems when it was being sheathed in this sheath. And this is the sheath that it came with. I don't know if this sheath already harbored much moisture somewhere, but I just kept it here and oiled it from time to time, but still that rusting was there. So I made a drastic choice to cover it up, do an acid wash to it. And like I said, the link on that video would already be in the first part that I pointed it out. We're back to tracker knives. Tracker knives, well, I don't know, with some guys, you know, they're just blowing your bubble, or if you're not gonna be using tracker knife, then don't, whatever. I can use knife for whatever things. I can chop meat with it, I can chop twigs with it, I can chop grass with it if I want to. It's just with me. So it's your opinion and I respect that, but you should respect others' opinions as well and not push your own agenda, and that would be it. Moving on. Yeah, this is not as expensive as those guys that you've mentioned. This is not a video about the blabbering of this stuff. I mean, I'm just wanting to show what this knife is and what has been done to this. Some may argue that you need to sand it so that the shine of the steel would come out. Well, I like it as is. It's like a stealth tracker. It's not entirely black. It's just gray. You know, it's nice. I like it that way. Plus, going back to that rusting problem, it's non-existent. It, and see, it's kind of dry. It's not a slick. Yeah, if I show it in the reflection, it doesn't have a thin coat of oil. Although I've already done the oil bath on this one, so I think the oil is already inside, but it doesn't have that coating of oil as you see, and there is no rusting. Also in the handle, some would say that this would be a fake Damascus because you cannot see it in the handle. Well, there's some streaks of Damascus here in the handle. You just need to etch it so that it would be coming out. Some bits of bits here, but not really rusting, just yeah, this would not be a mirror polish thing, you know, and we cannot do mirror with we can't use it as a mirror to check our face going into a night out, as one viewer and commenter would be saying. Well, yeah, like I said, it's your opinion and I really don't care. It's just that it's funny sometimes, you know, and I do appreciate that you're here, you know, you're engaging and stuff. But sometimes you need to step on it, and because sometimes they want to step on you, and if you're just being stepped on, it's just you're gonna be stepped all over. Well, here in the Philippines, we're simple but we're proud people. And I'll just leave it at that. So, back to this knife, TNZ USA. Yeah, not a collectible, not one of those handmade knives of blah 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 and blah blah. But it's here, and it's with me. And it wasn't made here in the Philippines because we have tons of knives and blades here. Tons and tons. If you have guns there, we have knives here. Lots of guys can make knives here. And it's just there for chopping whatever you need to chop it with. And if ever I'm gonna be bringing in some blades, importing blades from other countries, as much as I'd like to use it for chopping mundane day-to-day task, I have other knives for that. Lots of other knives for that. So yes, if I have a mirror polish blade, I would not want to be using that because I have got tons of other blades to use for chopping whatever I need to do with it. So I'd like to keep that mirror polish pristine as much as I can. And it's your opinion. Buy your own mirror polish blade and use it if you want. That will be so good. Do whatever you want with it. It's yours. But for me, like I said, I have tons of other blades that I can use. And if ever I'm going to be importing something, I would not going to be trashing it because I'm going to be not babying it. I'm just going to be using it as a collectible because that's how a collectible is. Sometimes you buy a firearm, a Colt, let's say, a revolver Colt, a rare revolver Colt. Something used by the guy in The Walking Dead. Yeah, I've read that was a collector piece. You wouldn't shoot it as much, would you? Because you'd like to keep it pristine. It's the same way with the knives that I have. So whatever you guys say, thanks for engaging me. But you have your own opinion and I have mine. And I said I'd leave it at that, but no, we're dragging it along. Anyways, this knife has not been giving me any problems. And let's see for weight. 12.2 ounces, 0.78 pounds, 346 grams. 12.1 ounces. 12.1 ounces for a fixed blade knife, a Tracker fixed blade knife. It's definitely not in the folding knife category, not in the EDC category, but if you do go into somewhere in the woods that you need to have a blade outside and you'd be carrying it around your belt, this would be a nice addition to it because it would be its main purpose. Let's check it out with the sheath. .8 ounces, 0.99 pounds, 449 grams, 0.449 grams, 15.8. Let's see how 12.2, so maybe around 3.6 ounces difference with the sheath. A quick measurement. I really don't know much about TNZ USA. I do have their D2 blades, and this is the only Damascus steel blade that I have from them. And I'd say I would not be getting more because this Damascus is not that good. But with the acid washing, it has been behaving properly. It's just shy of 10 inches, so 1/8 shot, that's about 9 3/4, very near to 9 3/4. That's from tip to pommel. And with the blade area, that's 5 1/4. Yep, that's 5 1/4 to this part. And the blade area as well, that's 5 1/4. My carry Damascus, the one that I really like, I mean, that's my carry Damascus. If ever I'm gonna be carrying a Damascus blade, I would prefer this. And this, I also don't know where the Damascus came from, but this guy doesn't give me any problems on rusting. And if you can check the shape, the main difference would be a broader belly here, and this one has a pointier tip. Much better for thrusting as compared to this one. If you would be making this as a knife thrower, I think this would be a poor knife thrower, but it's got to be a more robust tip. But I'd say that this tip is also robust. For this knife, okay, I'd put the link here if you want for this knife. The thing with this, it's got a wood handle, so if I'm gonna be making it as a throwing knife, there's a chance that the wood handle would be breaking. Micarta handled ones are much better, but I don't think that tip is good enough to throw. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna be doing a knife throwing video. I'm not good at throwing knives yet, but I'm gonna be learning how to throw a knife, and I'm gonna be showing you guys. I'm gonna be showing you guys how I'm gonna be learning how to throw knives. I'm just making the wood for you to throw in the target, so that my tip would not be as damaged. It needs to be in the ends of the wood. So that's comparing it to my go-to Tracker carry, and that would be in that sheath. Let's compare it now to a smaller Tracker that I would also end up carrying if ever I have all the pockets I need. This is a smaller one, definitely more smaller than this guy, but it's got the nice carabao horn handle, and nice pattern on the Damascus as well. Okay, I'd put a link for this knife as well here. I've already done a review for that. So that resides on that sheath I made. Really good, compact and all. Now let's compare it to something authentic and something from a brand name, and this would be the HKT by Tops Knives, Mobius Training Solutions, Advanced Tactics Divisions. Darth Vader knife. Yeah, haven't used this because there's no need. I live in the city, but we're in a city that we can collect knives, although we just don't carry it day to day. We have tons of other knives to carry, and it's perfectly legal here as long as your intention is not to stab someone. Just for you to think about it, we have vendors here on their carts. It's not even a cart that you're thinking about. It's just a cart with a makeshift cart, maybe a 6x4 cart, and they've got makeshift tires, and they carry pineapples or mangoes in it. Those guys, they've got like 4 or 3 types of knives in that cart. And the knife law here in the Philippines is if you are using if you're using a knife for your livelihood, like for example those guys that the guys that are peeling pineapples in the street, without even a permit, they have knives there. And no, we don't have knife attacks here from time to time. It's just how it is. We practice common sense, and we don't have crimes that involve knives. If the hold-uppers here, the snatchers or the bad guys, the criminals here, they'd probably be using a gun, an unlicensed firearm. They would not be using a knife. Maybe the kids. We have a problem here because one senator of ours, he lowered the crime punishment for the it's like a juvenile law, and it's stupid law because the criminals in the criminal organizations, they're using kids because kids can get away with murder, literally. So that's a stupid law that needs to be amended here in the Philippines. And yeah, you don't want kids to be just stabbing you, and you don't want kids to be nearing you. It's not something you take for granted. Just in case, a word of advice. So this video has been more about the Philippines and all about the rant and stuff as compared to this knife. I just wanted for you guys to show you that this knife, what I did to it, the acid washing, and comparing it to other blades that are in my collection. Upswept Persian tracker style with a walnut handle. It's on the same length with the D2 blade. The pin there, see that center in the middle? That would be a rat tail tang. I'd take a full tang anytime. And of course our champion blade, the Glock survival knife FM81. It's a dagger style, so it's longer, but it doesn't have that much chopping ability because it doesn't have momentum, but it's a thrusting blade as compared to that one. Turmeric tea. Oh no, this is ginger tea. It soothes your voice. Well, I'm already approaching the 20-minute mark, and I've just about rambled enough. I just like to leave you guys with another post of this blade, and then I like to show you that this guy has really been good. I mean, since I haven't been favorable with this blade because of that rusting problem, but now that's the solution to blades that are prone to rusting, especially with the Damascus. They're folded steel, lots of things can go wrong. And this knife, is gladly part of my collection now, and it's not something that I'd hate just by looking at it. I actually like it now. 20-minute mark, guys. I was just here blabbering. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for staying this long for me to blabber. I did not mean to. I hope you liked the video, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.